first things first, we'll start with the drums. So we got the kick. So I just gated the kick a little bit so that when I stretch the note longer, it plays more of the kick. And then I got the shorter notes that play a really short piece of the kick. Next, we got these drums. So this is just a loop that I pulled into the Slice X. So the original loop sounds like this. So after chopping it up on all these little hits, came up with this little groove here. And then I also have this other little consolidated drum bit that plays underneath. So together it sounds like this. Then I have this last little bit here, which is just a little chop from a speed garage loop, just to give it that vintagey fuzz kind of sound. So then all together, it sounds like this. So that's the drums for the track. Moving on, we got the synths, and it sounds like this. And it's the Plastic People Plastic early 90s C sharp. That's the sample, just a one-shot sample, played in different octaves, changes up throughout the break, sounds like this. And then there's also a little stab that I take from it that I play at a little higher octave. And then that's playing through the Valhalla Supermassive, I'm pretty sure, at the end, just to give it that nice lush delay. Moving on from the synths, we got the bass. So there's two basses. So we have the main sub, and then we have the reese that sits underneath. So they almost play the exact same pattern, except the reese at the start of the bar plays the higher octave and then goes lower, where the sub bass just plays the original pattern, which goes from a lower note to a higher note. So we'll play one, then we'll play them both together. So here's the sub. Then here's with the reese on top. I should also note that at the end of the first bar, I have one note that goes up an octave at the end on the reese here, brings it into this little note change here. Just a better transition I found. So that's the bass. Or actually, you know what? There's one more bass that plays through at the end of the bar, at the end of the drop. And that is just another sample that sits on top that I have triggering on a LFO. Yeah, I got the Fruity P controller, so you can see this is just kind of moving. It never stops moving. And it's just filling this filter. This filter's just always moving on it, so it kind of gives it a different sound every time it plays. So however it sounded when it rendered is how it ended up coming out. It sounds like this. Excuse my messy project. I also have the sub bass playing. A lot of the time I work in these messy projects. I don't know why I do this to myself, just because I'm trying to throw so many different ideas out at one time while I'm making the tune, and then eventually I just know where everything is, and I don't really think to myself that I'm gonna make a video on it later. I just make the track and then I'm happy with it, and then that's that. So moving on from the bass, we have the vocals. So the vocals, there's this consolidated part here, which is just a snippet from the main one. And that just plays underneath the beat. And then we have the main one that sits over top up here.
Can't you see? Live together. Can't you see? Live together.
And they don't really do much else except for that. Kind of just play throughout the track. We have some various effects in here, just little bits and bops, little laugh sample. We have another one over here. Just to kind of really stretch that eerie, dark sound that I was going for. I mean, with this track, I was kind of going for that, like, more vintage sounding style, like almost like it came like straight from a 90s sampler. So I was kind of getting these like more fuzzy drums, and I think when I was mixing them, I was fooling around with some different saturation and the RC20 retro color. Oh yeah, there's this little sound here as well. Kind of sits underneath for texture. That and the tape hiss. That's pretty much everything that went into this track. It wasn't too much. It was just some drums, synth, bass. So that's the track breakdown of Can't You See. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did enjoy it and you want to see more videos, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. Fortunately, I can't do the Ways to Die track just because the file got corrupted a long time ago. It's actually an old version that I had to put out, unfortunately, but it's okay. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you next time. Take it easy.